Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to share with you a quick and simple fix for a no crank, no start issue on the 1995 Nissan Pickup. We went through, I don't know how many batteries and alternators before we discovered a bad fusible linker. There were times where I would need to get a jump start at work or have to swap the alternator outside an O'Reilly's or AutoZone. And on even one occasion, I had to have somebody push start me at the intersection of the 51 and I think one of the exit streets where I stalled out. Even though I was prepared to, I kept gunning the motor, I kept being ready so I wouldn't stall out. And then when the light turned green, I choked and I stalled out. So there were about like two lights that had run through, and then people were backed up behind me. And finally, someone hopped out and they helped push me, and I jump started it, got it to work. And then during my lunch break, one of my colleagues took me down to the local O'Reilly's, and I was able to, after some back and forth, get a replacement battery. But the person there was really adamant about giving us a good battery, and their little handheld meter was showing us a good battery, but when we took it to the back for the actual huge machine to do the charging and testing, they found out it was bad. So on that occasion, I was okay. However, I don't know how many batteries and alternators we went through. And finally, I was doing some troubleshooting, and I found that this fusible linker, which is attached to the positive battery side or the terminal, was defective. It was cracked, and when I would move it, the lights would come on the dash and the vehicle would start up. But when it's in a certain position, the lights would go out, and I wasn't even able to jump start it. So after some time, I got a brand new negative battery cable that I hooked to the engine block. And then I also ordered the fusible linker from, I think it was from the Nissan store in North Phoenix. And once I replaced that, everything was good, and we no longer had to replace the battery and alternator. But in that time, I would say my son and I got really good at swapping out the alternator, and we could do it in like maybe 15 minutes or less. And we got some nice holders for the battery as well. We got some new cables on the battery. But I just wanted to share this with you, and maybe if you get a chance, swap this part out if you have a 90s or older vehicle like this, because eventually that piece is going to corrode, or it's going to crack, or the wires are going to fray, or they're going to rub, and you're going to end up chasing your tail around and doing multiple swaps, because this piece, when it's not fully connected, it whatever mechanism occurs, it drains battery. I'll put a link down